Happy Monday, people. What is happening? Welcome to FFTV with me, Francis Green. And is this a must-win game? A lot of people have got divided opinions. I think it is, because it could set us on a nice run, or it could start putting doubts in the player's mind. But first of all, as always, I hope each and every one of you have had a great start to the week. I understand not everybody can have a great start to the week, and like I always say, if this week is not your week or today is not your day, just remember it's only temporary, not permanent, and tomorrow or next week will be your day. So first of all, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Stress-free. I spoke to a good long conversation with Curtis earlier. I was saying just enjoyed a couple of days off. I did the same. I went to church, which is another great day at church yesterday. Little one was buzzing. Spoke to the girls, spent some time with the family, and unfortunately Peterborough again lost at Forest, which did not help, but I got the pleasure to obviously be in a good situation and do the radio for the BBC at Championship games. So I cannot complain. So I hope each and every one of you had a magnificent weekend. So Hendon Gooners put chest day in the gym. Killer. You've got me back on it, by the way. I had some little pre-workout juice this morning and I got back on it. So I'm back in the gym proper. And Hendon Gooner got me on it. So good shout out to Hendon Gooner. Who else is in the chat? Let's have a look. Runjan. Good comment earlier on the Green Man video. If you've not checked it out, it is pinned in the chat. Go and check the new video out. It's just about dealing with stress. I know Kurd Glassed and a few people were asking a little tips about stress. Nothing too detailed, just the things that I've done. And obviously detaching yourself from most things is probably the best thing that I can say to anybody when you want a nice, calm, and joyful life. Detachment is the key, people. I can tell you that. But that's another video. That is another video. Anyway, given that we have now lost 5 of 14, there is a minimal wiggle room. Every defeat ratchets the pressure up. Every defeat ratchets the pressure up. And here are game 15 and the season on the line. I can't see us winning. Interesting. Salmon's put all depends on the lineup. Got to drop ABBA. Though bring him off the bench, could be out. Free 15k Chikorito. That music by the Pickering of my thumbs, something wicked. This way comes. Chris is always the one with the riddles, mate. Little poet in there. Free hit FC tonight settings. Is that what you think? I don't know what Curtis has said on his stream. I was out, but we did have a good conversation earlier. That is for sure. And Tony's put, hi friend, everyone. We have to beat Everton tonight. They are poor at the moment. And if there's ever a team to go to Merseyside, or a time to go to Merseyside and play against Liverpool 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it is may be, then you got an opportunity to go back and put the record straight against obviously their rivals, then this is the time. They are riddled with injuries, can't sign any players, need to get rid of players. It's just a shambles, an absolute shambles from Everton at the moment. And a lot of people are not convinced with Arsenal. I'm one of them. Like I've said before, people have said to me, oh, well, when they're winning, you're this and that. I said, no. When they're winning, I'll give credit. It doesn't mean that I'm convinced if they are winning. Doesn't mean I'm convinced from what I'm seeing. So I hope that we get the win. But first of all, some sad news. I want to go into something quickly before we go into Arteta. And a fellow footballer who I knew, sadly passed away. We don't know. We believe maybe it was a heart attack. Not too sure. Nothing's come out. And I played against him many times. He's done his round against all in the lower leagues. He knows all the top flight footballers because he had a fashion brand. And you would have seen his fashion brand on many footballers. And even Curtis at times wore it on his channel. So Marvin Morgan sadly passed away at 38, which is no age whatsoever. Again, a long football career. Was still playing, I believe, even now at the age of 38 in Hendon or somewhere like. I'm not 100%. I may have left them, but he had a very successful fashion brand called Fresh Ego Kid. Most of you may have seen it on, like say, YouTubers, and he sadly passed away. So I just want to say, if anyone from his family watches this, or if not, our thoughts and our blessings are with his family. He was a great guy. He was a racism, advocate. He did a lot of charity work for Grenfell Tower victims, everything. Absolutely unbelievable person. So my thoughts are with him and his family, and blessings. And obviously, Adonai, the good Lord, has got a good one there, that is for sure. And Hendon's also put Ian Wright's mother sadly passed away suddenly too. So it's never nice. But if you do believe, like you say, in other things, then as much as we miss them, they will be going on to a better place. That's the only way that you can look at it. So let's move on from that. And we'll move on to the teams. So first of all, Arteta has no injury concerns, what we know of. We know Xhaka, we know so-and-so's out. Saka may start, even though he came off the bench the other day. So we're not sure about that. But they desperately need a win. And Arteta needs to play his strongest 11. And we will go on to what you think is the strongest 11 later on in the stream. And what kind of team that you would pick. Because I'm a little bit not too sure what team to pick, to be honest. Now, when it comes to Everton, let's talk about Everton before we deep dive into Arsenal. Marcel Bland, who I didn't meet, but I know he was at the club because Mason's obviously at the club, came in, very, very good reputation before he came into Everton, and spent a lot of money. I think they're the 5th highest spenders in the Premier League over the last 5 seasons. And I will get back to the chat as always, people. So keep putting your messages in on comments or any questions, etc. And now they're in a situation, Everton, where they have no money to spend because of financial fair play, I believe. So there's no reason for Marcel Bland to be there anymore. So he's now got to go, which gives full control to Rafa on who he can and cannot sign, because the other managers did not have that. Marcel Bland was involved in any recruitment, etc. We believe that they tried to get Sahar. They couldn't do it because of the money. So they had a last minute swoop for Iwobi. Apparently Iwobi was in Dubai on a yacht when he got the phone call. It was very rushed. He's not obviously progressed at all. He's not fulfilled his potential, what they think he could have been before he went to Everton, because he's very hit and miss. So they had no money to spend, just like Social's saying. They had like 1.7 million to spend in the summer. A club the size of Everton. But it's because of financial fair play, and they've spent too much money over the last 5 years. Adding to that, they need to get rid of players. So all of a sudden, Rodriguez wasn't in the team. He wasn't performing. All comes out now. Well, doesn't come out, but put 2 and 2 together. He was left out of the team. He was probably tricked into a way that he didn't want to feel at the club, because he was one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid, etc. They wanted to get him out, and club in Qatar apparently are paying a lot of his wages while he's out there. He's still got some kind of affiliation with Everton, even though obviously he's probably not coming back. They still owe money, so they've took a lot of the responsibility. So James Rodriguez, one of the best players in the Premier League when he's on song, and we've seen that when he was playing, had to leave, and they've had to have a revamp of what they're going on, and it's just not working for them at the moment. They have lists full of injuries, main players out. Yerry Mina may be back today. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's out. Mace may be back today. Holgate after his suspension. They've just got injuries there. Decore may be injured. I've seen something he may be injured, but then you never know with reports, so you never know until the team's in. So with Everton, they're just going through a dire straits at the moment. In the summer, January, they need to sell. Now, the biggest asset is going to be Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, he's been linked with Arsenal left, right and centre. I imagine he's going to be linked with a lot of clubs. There's an opportunity and there's a chance that he could be the one that goes to Arsenal, which I think would be a good one. The way that Arsenal are playing at the minute, all needs to be about hard work, big, physical, up top, not much flair, kind of centre forward, because we ain't playing any type of nice football anyway. The lads up top, I actually feel sorry for them, to be honest, because the fluidity and the transition from back to front at times is horrific in this Arsenal team. So there's no coincidence that these people up top hardly get any chances. Hardly any get any chances. So when they do get chance, highlights it, and then we're on the back. But they hardly get any chances at times. It really, really is something to look at. So I think that's something that Everton will probably not look to do, but they will need to do, because they need to sell to get funds to help Rafa Benitez. They are there for the beating tonight, people. They are there. So let me get into a couple of your chats before we go into the way that we should approach the game. I just hope everyone is having a great Monday. As much as there's bad news in the world, there is good news in the world, people. There is good news, and that is down to us, how we live our lives. Ashton's put, good day, Fran and chat. I think Endon are talking about, obviously, the sporting director. He was sacked earlier today, dismissed Marcel. Wilson's put, this is a must-win game for Arsenal. There are no excuses whatsoever. Munzi talks to saying, don't forget to watch the show tonight. Any people who are interested in Premier League, watch the show tonight. Obviously, the game is on, so I don't know if it crosses the time. I think it may do. Right, his mum, God bless. What exactly is our strongest team? Yeah, we'll go through that. We'll go for Everton fans to protest tonight on 27 minutes. Yeah, they are. Apparently, they're going to leave now. This was before Marcel Bland was given the boot. Don't think that's going to change anything. I think they're going to still be protesting. What a bad appointment Rafa Benitez was. What a crazy one. Knowing the situation, what's going on with this club, I am surprised Rafa Benitez took this job. I really am, people, surprised Rafa Benitez took this job. I really am. Really, really am. I also want to quickly mention, we do have a couple of people in the community, and I'm not going to mention no names because, you know, it's their own private issue. But a couple, and I mean more than a couple, and it's not concerning for me. It's not concerning for me. But it's swaying towards something that we're going to have to do in the future. A lot of people who have been very dominant and prominent, should I say, in the chat, probably about 4 or 5, have reached out and said that they struggle with certain things and every day, and it's very hard for them. So please, people, because I return the messages and I to speak to them as a friend, because that's what we are now, people. We've committed. Just a way that I've had to deal with things and the things that may help certain people. So, you know, I am going to shield this. I am going to shield this, people. I really, really am, because I think it's very, very important. I think it's very, very important. This. Just take the time, okay? Just take the time. If not, make sure you subscribe to the other channel. Make sure you share the other channel as well, because this is a different kind of channel and it's really helping some people, and people are reaching out, and I want to try and help as many people as possible on just a normal day-to-day thing. So please hit the subscribe on that and share, because it will help a lot of people, because I've noticed a lot of people are reaching out. So if anything, just please that, and especially with what's going on in the world, I think this is going to help a lot of people. Sorry for going off subject, but it's just come to my mind now that a couple of people who are not in the chat, who normally are, I know the reasons that they're not in the chat. So please, if you just have, you know, while you're on here now, just share it or whatever, like it, whatever, just add something to it. I really do appreciate that. I really do. Okay. Sorry for shilling, but I've just noticed that a lot of people don't have many people to speak to. And we're all the same. And some people are very good at keeping stuff for themselves, and some people are not. So, you know, just share the love. Right, all we needed, Dominic Calvert-Lewin told me, I said Nuno's crosses are maintained, is not being played. I think we need him because he's the only type of striker that could probably play in the way Arteta wants to play. Watkins is better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin and has more potential to grow. The only thing about Watkins reminds me of a championship centre forward. Runs off the back, does okay. Is he going to be good enough for Arsenal to then go to that next level? I'm not sure. Whereas Dominic Calvert-Lewin is an international. You know what you're going to get for him. He'll bully people. And that's what we need in our team. I really do. Will he bring the flair? Nah, he ain't got flair. But he'll bring something I think Arsenal need. West Ham are 4 points out of Arsenal. It is a very annoying. Listen, don't act surprised, Wilson. I told you, The season's not even at Christmas yet, and people were talking about we're going to be this, we're going to be that. And we've been on a decent run, and everybody else has been poor. They've all changed their managers. They're all going to pick up form. Other teams are going to pick up form. So the second half of the season, when you've got to play these teams again, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And we've got a run of games that we should probably win 4. Will we? We don't know. It's interesting times because football changes very, very quickly. Very quickly. It can be a moment in a game. It can be one game. It can be one kick that changes the momentum of the next 4 or 5 games. But Wilson's got my prediction, Everton to Arsenal 2-1. Everton are poor and shocking side, but Arsenal need to be careful. To be honest, they are poor and they are shocked. If we don't win, by the way, if we don't win, then no one's going to really say much. No one's going to really say much. However, they're going to keep watching because that's what I've been doing because I don't want to be person right, we're terrible, he's lost, blah, 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 blah. I just take a step back. Observe, say what I've got to say. And then we take it from there. We take it from there. A Chelsea fan in the building say Chelsea is the biggest club in England, like it or not. It looks like they're struggling at the minute. It looks like you're struggling at the minute, to be honest. Not looking the best at the moment. Look like you fell off a cliff. But I'm sure they'll come back stronger, that is for sure. But at the moment, they have fell off a cliff. They must all be in Bitcoin over the weekend, Chelsea players, because they fell off a cliff. Big up everyone, excited for the game later. I hope for an Arsenal. Yeah, listen, I'm excited for the game. I'm excited. I was excited for the Man United game. I'm excited. They got a point to prove here. They got a point to prove. Some well-intended shilling. Yeah, I'm not shilling you no crap. I'm not shilling anything like that. I'm just shilling you something that I believe I can make that green mind, and as a community, we can make that green mind a big, big thing. And we can help a lot, if not thousands and thousands of people. That's for sure. No problem, Fran. Happy to help the cause. I appreciate that. Brandon's put big up, Fran, on the green mind, brother. You're inspiring. I hope it helps. Fran, Chelsea lost to West Ham, but winning trophies. You must be mad. I love it when people say, but they've won trophies. History settings, people. History settings. I told you, yesterday is gone. It don't matter what you did yesterday. It's about today. Hakuna Matata. Listen, you fell off a cliff. If next week you get back at the top of the cliff, then, like you say, we'll credit where credit's due. But at the moment, when you come for me, I've told you, you fell off a cliff. Chelsea have fell off a cliff. At the moment, trophies get dusty. No one cares. I definitely don't care about trophies. I care about what my team's going to do tonight. That's what I care about. But all good banter, as always. Would you drop Abba for this game? I would. That's a big, big call, King. A big call. Because if he drops Aubameyang, and they lose this game, all of a sudden you may have created a problem with Aubameyang in the camp. I'm not sure you want that. I'm not sure you want that. Gerald with a miracle at Villa after just 3 games in charge. 3 wins out of 4, and they lost to City. And to be fair, they should have got something against City. Leicester were the better team first half yesterday, but their defending was woeful. But Leicester probably should have won that game. First half, definitely. Their defending was woeful. Honestly, Evans and Soyuncu, terrible. Terrible. Letting Watkins turn, not winning headers. Crazy. Isaac Firmino gives me Henry vibes. Oh, sir, I'm not sure he's Henry. Listen, he's got talent. He's at the age where he's got talent. He's playing international. He can definitely develop. And that's probably the model that fits Arsenal. He could definitely develop. But is he the guy to come in and run this line? Then we've lost even more experience. By the way, you don't win nothing with kids. Nothing. You need experience within that squad. They'll do well in spells. Like a Saka, like an ESR. In spells, they'll do well. As a team, nah. Swedish Chelsea fan has put, just tuned in, Fran. Good news for us that Kovacic is back. How do you see your game going tonight? It is a good news for Chelsea. Have got some injuries. Don't get me wrong. The reason that they fell off a cliff is because they've got some injuries. That is for sure. And once everyone's back, they're going to be backfiring. But we'll enjoy it while they're losing at the moment. But they're still above us, so we can't mock them. That's too much. Mr. Bunga's put what's cooking. Brian, as always, watching from Nairobi. I'm going for 3-1 win for Arsenal. Big shout out to the family in Nairobi. Really do appreciate the support from worldwide. And let's hope. Guna 8 David has put, if we win, it will paper over the cracks. Again, big up Fran. Yep, we've got polyfiller settings in this club. That is for sure. We're definitely, I might even see polyfiller settings sponsor the Emirates polyfiller stadium, because we can smooth over a crack. But if you know what you're looking at, and a lot of football people, I put a tweet out the other day and I put, a lot of people watch football but don't study it. And because people just watch football and they go off their emotions, that game, if they lose, it's the worst team in the ever. If someone misses a shot, they're the worst player in the world. If they score a worldie, they're Ballon d'Or. If they have a good game, we'll go in top 4. Because we're not studying the game, because there's patterns in a season. There's patterns. There's no coincidence that Chelsea fell off a cliff because the right personnel are not playing for them. So they need to make sure that they're still in touch, which they will, and then get everyone back. And then when they play the next time they play a West Ham or whatever, they'll probably bosh them. So it goes in waves. It goes in momentum. And that's why it's good to study games and why players don't play a certain way. And that's what King does. King's knowledge, and he studies games. He gives me so much knowledge about. The other day he was telling me about, you know, how wingers don't go to the byline no more from the big clubs. And I was just told to go to the byline every time. And he was saying, Liverpool and his City, they cross from deeper because it messes the centre half up, because they're expecting crosses to come from the side. It's good that you study, and we can all help each other out on different things. So Chelsea Academy, yeah, they're all doing well. The Academy players are outrageous. Just got back from collecting some corn, but I'm here now. Nice curved glass. Kuhn McCarthy's put Champions League. Darren D has put, even if Arsenal win tonight, that have they really lost long term, as Arteta will stay? He's obviously not the right guy, just wasting time. And I tell you what, you've just reminded me of something that I want to say. As you know, I played football for very long times professionally, and I was at Peterborough United for a massive chunk of that. And now I'm involved doing the radio for the BBC in the Championship, okay? Now, the Peterborough United manager recently signed a 3-year contract, but they're 5 points adrift near the bottom of the league, if not nearly bottom, okay? Derby have got crazy deducted points, etc., etc. And he's just signed a new 3-year deal. Now, I don't know the reasons why I signed a 3-year deal. Dara and the people that own the club and football director who I know personally are shrewd businessmen, okay? But they're in the Championship, and we're going to get to it correlates with Arsenal, the Arteta. They're in the Championship, and they're struggling. They can't find an away win. Players don't look good enough, unfortunately. I'm just real. I'm hot. You know, it might sound harsh, but I'm real. Players don't look good enough at the moment, and the manager signs a new 3-year contract. Okay. Arteta has no targets. Arteta is kind of just head of this project. Okay. And the owners have backed him, and the owners will continue to back him. So what if we finish 10th or 11th or 12th and they continue to back him? What message does that send to the players, to the staff, to everyone thinking, well, it's okay, you get rewarded for being mediocre? And that kind of hit me during Saturday's game, because I'm not going to say it on air because I don't want no one to lose their job. However, if you're in a football team and the manager doesn't get the right results, but they get new deals or their job's never under threat, for me, when I was a player, that tells me that I can get away with being mediocre, that I can be average. That's the message it sends me. Now, some people may look at it in a different point of view, but that's how I would look at it. If I was at a football club and I was playing and there was no targets and there was no pressure to win games or to get in the top 4 or to survive or whatever it may be, and the manager signs a new contract or the manager's backed for 2-3 seasons, I personally would think, well, I can get away with being average because that seems to be the mentality of the club. And I'm not sure whether that's the mentality of Arsenal, which is seeping into the fan base of, oh, it's okay. If we get fourth, it's great. If not, we'll just go on this project. What do you think, people? Am I going too deep on that? What do you think? At some point, you have to make a statement towards poor performances, maybe early second half sub for Abba against tired defenders. Yeah, big up yourself, Nick. Hope you are well. Mr. Bunga's put it's to players, Fran KC. Yeah, Imran's put Fran. Do you think the capacity is affecting the captaincy? Is affecting Abba's form? Too much pressure. I'm just not sure about Aubameyang. He's one person I can't figure out. Someone else may be able to figure out, but when I look at Aubameyang, I don't see a captain. I don't see a leader. I don't see a one with desire, win. I mean, if you ever played with me down Power League, I'm horrible. Like, just horrible. I want to win. Power League at my age, like, grow up, Fran. However, off it, sound chilled. I don't see that in Aubameyang. I don't see him elbow no one. And I'm not asking, listen, I'm not trying to hurt people, but you know what I mean? A little bit nasty. I don't see that. I see it in Tyrone Mings. He's not the same player, but see Tyrone Mings. He's not great. Why does he play for England? Why does he play for Villa? Because he's a little bit nasty. He's hard to play against. I just can't figure Aubameyang out. I really, really can't, people. Lionel's put big up, Fran. Been busy with work, been tuning in on the grind. Listen, the grind is good. The grind is good. However, make sure you look after your mental health. That's the key. Keep up that fire content. Really do appreciate it. Give the captaincy to Gabriel. Think, yeah, you got a good point. United. Tony's saying United were there for the taking. So are Everton. If come away with nothing tonight, that will confirm that we have not progressed any further forward in the season. I think you're true. Have we progressed? I think Sentiment, who's not in the chat, asked me the other day, Fran, have we progressed? West Ham is looking really good to have beaten Chelsea, City and Liverpool so far this season. Listen, West Ham are a very, very hard team to play against. And me and Curtis were talking about it earlier. Very basic football. It's just basic football. Everyone has a job to do. Everyone respects the manager. The manager respects the players, what they can and can't do, so they work hard for him. And he's got a very good balance of flair players, strength players, energetic players, and honest players. It's working. It's working. All the players that scored yesterday, I think, came from the Championship. Maybe not. I don't know. Did Lanzini score? But they're top goal scorers and all. They're coming from the Championship. Yet, Arsenal fans, not all of them, but Arsenal fans, they don't want to sign players from the Championship. Yeah, how many good players in the Premier League come from the Championship? Dominic Calvert-Lewin's Championship. Ollie Watkins Championship, League One, then Championship. Danny Ings Championship. All these players, Bowen, Antonio, all these players are Championship players. So the scouting, the recruitment needs to be different, needs to be better. People will talk about foreign players. Foreign player, not used to the English game, technically very good. Varane. Veron, all these technical players, there's loads that have come, you've seen glimpses, had to go back. James Rodriguez, all these players that you think, wow, World Cup, they blitzed the World Cup, they blitzed their league. Come to the Prem, it's different football. It's very fast, it's less quality, it's like a hot potato. The players don't move, don't make the same angles, don't make triangles, etc., etc. Get a Championship player, knows the game inside out. Come through the leagues, knows the hustle bustle, been to Carlisle on a Tuesday night, been to Dagenham and Redbridge on a Thursday night, came off the bench, floodlights are dimmed. That's hardcore. So when they get to the Prem, the promised land, they don't stop working hard because they are so blessed and grateful for the opportunity. It's a mindset thing. I'm going for Championship players, good Championship players, all day long. You can't have a bunch of Championship players, of course not. But I'm going for the gems in the Championship. That's what I'm going for. So, but that's just me. Will Arteta ever be able to set up a proper style of play and attack for Arsenal? Have you ever seen a manager taking 2 years to do that? We have a big problem because some managers are very good at defending. Some managers are very good at attacking. Not many managers are good at both. And when they are good at both, they're either at Man City, Liverpool, or Chelsea. And now West Ham. And all the teams that do well are very good at the back and very good going forward. Leicester, when they won it, you can't be one or the other. I believe we're very good at the back at times, but we're not very good at the front. And then when we're okay at the front, we're not very good at the back. Or we're not very good at all. So building a team is hard, but it's been there 2 seasons. How long does it take to build a team? In this day and age, you know? In this day and age. Right, let's get to a couple more of the comments. Love the comments flying in, people. Love the comments. Absolutely love it. Next, I definitely think there's a mentality of mediocrity at Arsenal. I honestly don't think there's a genuine ambition to challenge for the league. It's not about how much they spend either. 100%. And I think it seeps through the club. Nathan's in the building. He said, hey, Fran, what do you make of the protests that Everton's fans have planned for tonight? Do you think Arsenal should have organised themselves to do something similar? I think, listen, the North and the South are very, very different when it comes to fan base. The North are they demand a lot more. Because London is very multicultural, I get the picture that the fan base is not, they're passionate, but they don't look at football the same way as the North. The North in England, football, there's not a lot of diversity at times. It's generation after generation after generation of a family supporting that club. It's in their blood. They're very, very passionate. And you will get that at the London clubs. You'll get a small selection of that. But you won't get it like it used to be. Because it's very, very diverse and only maybe one generation of family have gone to that. So they kind of don't mess around in the North. I went to the Arsenal protest and it was there and it was good. And protests don't really do much. They just get a little bit of awareness. But protesters in the North, they'll burn the stands down. They'll chase the owner's car. They'll smash window. You know, and I'm not condoning that behaviour, but I think the North and the South fans are very, very different. Very, very different. Eric said, hey, Fran, hope you're good. Our Christmas party got cancelled at work because of COVID. It's because of COVID. By the way, the restrictions are all going to come back in. So whatever you do, people, be prepared up here to deal with what could come your way. You may lose jobs. We may lose any kind of source of income. Some of us may get really ill. Family members may get really ill. Just be prepared. Try and be prepared. Don't go mad at Christmas on money if you don't have to. Just be prepared, because 2022 could be hard. Could be hard, because if this comes and the way that is coming, it could be, again, we might not be able to travel. So just a little bit of a warning. Listen, as much as enjoy yourself, I'm not trying to sound like your dad, but I'm just trying to give advice of what I'll try and do, which is still hard. Try and save a few pennies and get through. And then what will be after the 6 months or the 9 months or the 12 months. What will be. We can't predict, because we're in a tricky time. So, but just stay safe. If you're not a person who don't want to wear masks, that's your choice. If you don't want a vaccine, that's your choice. If you do want the vaccine, that's your choice. Whatever may be, okay? You're not harming no one if you stay within your own space. That's what I believe. That's my personal opinion. So just be careful. Just be careful. But opinions on Arsenal will differ according to specific age groupings. The older fans know how good Arsenal were. The younger fans are just happy to get a ticket to watch a game. And I do believe that. And which is not the youngsters' fault, as you know. It's not that their fault that they were born in a different time or whatever it may be. You know, it's just... It does create a different mindset. Just like if any of you've got children or teenagers, my teenage children have a completely different mindset to the way that I am, and I'm trying to teach them different. But you know, it goes in one ear and out the other. The same as when my parents were trying to tell me something. You know, that's the problem. So Snake has put Tierney, Gabby, Ben, Tommy, Partey, Ainsley, Pepe, Laka, Saka, and Abba. The goalkeeper picks itself. I don't see him dropping Abba. We need a ball-playing centre mid if we want to play possession football. You can't play possession football without a centre mid. It's so obvious. So obvious. So we'll see what the lineup's going to be. None of them are world class though. We don't have world class. We don't have no world class players. Microwave football. Yeah, microwave. It's like that microwave warm-up. Hola, buenos aires. Hope you are good. Hola, tuning in, Fran. We've got to watch it on later on. Bowen looks a star. Yeah, another championship player. Maguire. See, Maguire, all of a sudden, he gets fit. Everyone will be saying he looks like $1 million again, you know? Because he is good. And you've seen he's good. Especially at international level as well. Right, people, because I'm going to see you in about a couple of hours. Another 5 minutes. Let's quickly talk on Arsenal. How should we approach the game, people? I'm not sure who's going to play, and I'm not sure how we're going to approach this game. If we are too defensive, we're going to lose the game. Because as bad as Everton are, you're going to allow Damari Gray, you're going to allow Andros Townsend to get on the ball. And those two are dangerous. I don't care what anyone says. They are dangerous attacking wingers. Give them a bit of space, give them time, and they will punish you. They will punish you. So I'm not sure which approach we're going to go for. Put your teams in the chat. Put your teams in the chat. I know it's long. You know, if you need to, just put the initials. Put your teams in the chat, and we'll go from there. So Curtis as manager, be too laid back. But you know what may well become mandatory if Boris follows the European model. The so-and-so version of the virus is not looking anywhere near as dangerous as the original virus. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But listen, if people want to have the vaccine, it's their choice. I don't think the government should victimize people who don't want to, because they will have their reasons. And it's entirely up to individuals to do what they want, in my opinion. That's why I live in a democracy. However, to ban them from going to places, etc., when the vaccine clearly doesn't work, for me is mind-boggling. It really is. But I think it's too much of an individual emotional subject, because people have argued with me. Obviously, laughing is not the best response, but it's the only thing I can do, because I think it's stupid to argue with me, or will argue with anyone who has their own opinion. But I just don't know what's going to happen with this. But I don't think it's as bad, like you say. No, we're going to do starting 11 now. So give me your starting 11, people. Give me your starting 11. Must win. Boy Tennis put, we need to be going there and put a five past them. Richarlison, why when fans say drop Obama, the response is he's our captain? It's tricky. It's a tricky one. I've got to admit. It's a tricky one. Doesn't matter to me. The team comes first. KT to start. I play Pepe. I'm a bench. We need a new captain. Smash the likes, people. Go on, people. Smash the likes, guys. As always, smash the likes. Enders put Ramsdale, Gabby, White, Tav, Tommy, Partey, Samba, Saka, Laka, Pepe, Martinelli. Let's talk more about the illness in this positive. Let's talk more about illness in this positive football chat. Elliot's put attack. Get this match v Everton 1. That should be our mindset. We should be going with a crazy. Just go and blast them. Nick's put, I agree with you, Franny. Freedom of choice and no passports. Listen, I believe that if we live in a country where there's democracy and freedom to speech and freedom to people to walk down the street with alcohol in the hand or whatever it may be, freedom for people to be, racist and nothing happens to them or whatever it is, then you should be able to choose whether you want to have vaccines or not. I can tell you that for sure. Starting 11 cannot be bothered. Yanni's but he can't be bothered. Laka, Martinelli to start. Listen, for me, I'm gonna go. Listen, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabby, White. I'm gonna bring Tierney back in. I need some solidity. I'm gonna bring Tierney back in. I'm gonna play Partey. Got to play Partey. I thought El Neni did well. Some people will want something else in, but I think we need to go on the attack. So I would bring probably Sambi Lokonga back in. He's better probably going forward rather than he is going back. I would play Ødegaard. I know what you're going to say, but Fran, I'll play Ødegaard. I think he did well in spells against Man United. People overlooked the good things that he did because he gave the penalty away. I'll play Ødegaard, but if he's not working or he slows it down, I would change it. I would play Aubameyang and I would play ESR and Saka. That is me. I would not bring Pepe in. The only change I would make would be Tierney in and Lokonga. I really would. I want to play Lacazette. I don't know where I would fit him. I'd have to change formation. Not Saka, Martinelli. Martinelli, sorry. Martinelli I'd have in. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'd have Martinelli in. So Martinelli, Aubameyang, ESR, Ødegaard, and then back four. And then some would change. Some would get rid of Ødegaard, put ESR in the 10, and put Saka, Martinelli, and Aubameyang. Some would put Lacazette. So I think it's the four up top that people change quite a lot. And what baffles me is, I know why people change the top four, because they think that's the problem. However, the problem is the middle of the park and the back. But people forget it. People think it's Ødegaard or Aubameyang or Saka's fault. The team starts from the back via the two boys in the midfield. That allows the front lads to create. That's what we're missing. But something does need to change. Something does need to change. To be honest, Grant was saying Ødegaard does not get in my team. Only thing I employ him is clean skid marks in the staff toilets. I think he's got a play. Scored a great goal. Hardly gave the ball away, but a lot of people don't like him. So that just like I'm not a fan of Pepe, a lot of people are not a fan of Ødegaard. I mean, a lot of people were a fan of Tavares, and I was laughing my head off. And then look what's happened to him. Horrific. So listen. I think you've got to bring Tierney and we've got to steer the ship. Tavares is just a liability at times. Looks good on the eye going forward, but if you study his game, he's atrocious at times. He really, really is. And we don't need that. We need solidity. We need a style. We need togetherness. We need to be hard to break down. We need people to be aware of their positions, where they are on the pitch, because how can I put it? Their GPSs at times is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And Boyten saying, be nice to Tavares. I'll be nice and I'll be truthful. As you know, people, as you know. Partey's having an horrific, but this is how bad we are. Partey is having a shocker. But he's still the first name on the team sheet. That's how bad we are. That's how bad we are, people. Honestly. What do we expect from Partey? Can't pass, can't shoot, can't control the ball, can't stay fit. Tavares. Tierney had been poor. I think he's ready to come back. But yeah, he's been injured. He lost his way a little bit. He needs to come back in. Because Tavares will either score and be a worldie, or he might as well be in the stand. That's because he's too raw. He's new. He wasn't even consistent at Benfica. We've tried to get him on a bargain. He's an athlete, which you can create a football out of. So we'll see. Abba with Ødegaard. Where are we? Plus a team that can press free of Abba, Laka wing backs. Kingsport, I hope we can see some good attacking play. Surely we can. It depends if they bring Mina back. That's a big plus for them, because they've got Keane, Mina, even Mace might get into it. Listen, as much as Mace is my very, very close friend, good friend of mine, I want him to lose tonight, that's for sure. He comes back from suspension. I'm not sure whether he'll be playing, because Benitez is not his biggest fan. It's crazy, isn't it? Ancelotti, Real Madrid, AC Milan, world-class coach, right, won everything, rates Mason Holgate, plays him nearly all the time, nearly gets in the England squad, gets injured just before the England squad's announced. Manager changes, can't get a sniff. Crazy. Probably will have to go out on loan in January. That's football for you people. That is football. We have to high press. If we don't high press, it allows the Goodison Park crowd to boost the Everton, to likes of Damari Gray, the likes of Andros Townsend, to get on the ball and cause problems. And I'm not sure whether Richarlison will be playing. They do lack going forward. Iwobi, if he's playing, will be looking to do something. And listen, they're in crisis at the moment. They've had emergency meetings, last chance saloon over the next 3 or 4 games. So them players will have to pull their finger out, and Benitez will have to pull his finger out. So as much as we're going to Everton when they're not in form, it's also a bad thing that they've had a crisis meeting, and a win is a win. A win is a win. Yeah, Mason's a centre-back. Played a lot of right-back till he matured and got bigger, but he's bigger, he's stronger now. He's a ball-playing centre-back, and when he was on foot, he nearly got in the England squad. He got injured just before, so he's had a bit of bad luck. They may go a free at the back. Would he fit at Arsenal? He's awesome on the ball. Very, very good on the ball. Very, very good. Arsenal were interested in him before he went to Everton, but he knew he'd play more at Everton. We had 5 options before he went to Everton, but in the end he chose Everton. So we had 5 clubs. People know the story. We were driving to one club, and he wasn't a fan, but he knew he had to get in the Prem, and he was praying that another club phoned, and the club phoned, and we turned around and off we went. So that was interesting. When I was an agent, interesting times. Iwobi will be made to look like prime Balak. Let's just hope they don't. Right, people, I'm going to get off, fill myself, get another coffee, get some fuel on board, make sure little one's all right, make sure the wife is all right, and then I'm going to come back to the family for the watch along later on. Get ready, people. Don't get emotional. You may have to do some meditating before you get on stream. I can tell you that, people. Ready for the strings tonight. DJ's put, well, girlfriend, hope all is well. Hope all is well. I hope to see you on the stream in about, what time is it? In a few hours. And let's hope for a win tonight. As always, if I don't see you later on tonight, God bless. Love each and every one of you. You take care, and let's pray for a win later on today. See you later.